Good morning, you beautiful wieners. We're starting today's video off by smoking some meats. I had this weird impulse last night. I went and bought a pork shoulder, and now I've been smoking for the past couple of hours. It's kind of fun. Keeps me busy while I'm in there editing, but I wanted to take a quick breather from editing. I've been editing a lot. I've been trying to catch up on videos that I have not edited. I apologize. But what we're gonna do today is we're going to mess around with the backyard pond. This is seemingly one of the most requested videos you guys have been asking for in the comment section. I love going out in the pond. I love messing around with the pond, tweaking it, making sure that the bass are fed, that there's enough structure and enough living space for these fish. The pond is coming along so swimmingly, other than the fact that it's hot here in Texas and the water level's dropping and the fishing, for me at least, sucks right now. One thing I can always count on is the bass in my pond to eat. And what a better way to spend a Wednesday afternoon than to go feed the bass and then potentially go stock some more fish in the pond. So I figured today I'd show you guys how I keep my bass fed when I am here in Texas. But before we do all that, I gotta show you guys something pretty cool. This is something I ordered not too long ago that I need to get installed. Let's flip these lights on. So over my left shoulder, we have a big box, a big surprise. This landed probably a month ago. Came right before I left for St. Clair. If you guys have not seen those videos, check the link down below. It was a fun trip. We competed in another $1 million derby. I'm not gonna tell you the outcome, but you should watch those videos and then come back to here. What I did is I ordered a very essential piece to the pond puzzle. As you know, we've installed an aerator. The aerator has helped tremendously. The fish are way more lively. The water is now cooler, I feel like, by a couple degrees. But one thing that I need to fix in this pond is when I'm gone, I need to figure out a way to feed them, at least the little fish. The little fish definitely need food. So what I did is I purchased a giant fish feeder. She's a big bitch. Oh, this thing is thick. Wow, almost there. We're good. Got out of the package. Oh, looks like more part. Oh, solar charger. Okay, cool. I don't know. This is all new to me. I've never installed one of these. It was like the first time I ever installed a solar panel was a couple months ago, and now this is going to be the first time I ever installed a solar fish feeder. I'm excited. Here we have it. Here's all of the pieces. I don't know what half of this is, but this stuff right here makes sense to me. We've got our 12 volt, 8 amp hour little tiny battery. We then have our little solar panel, which is going to presumably charge this battery and run the whole system. This looks like your settings right here. You can probably put a timer as to how often you want the fish to be fed, different amounts, which is pretty useful. I like that. So this is basically what it comes with. You just get this giant crate. Top level, I believe, stores the bait. And then most of the electrical stuff is down here. I'm guessing, I don't know, this is gonna take a few seconds to figure out. But she's officially on all 4 legs, looking pretty good. The only thing I have to do now is to dig into here and install some electrical pieces. I feel like the legs were definitely the harder task within this whole process. Not too bad. Forgot to show you guys this too. Up here is where you put the actual food or the bait. And we got a couple big 60-pound bags of, I think it's Purina. Purina actually makes fish food, which is funny. It's what I feed my dogs, or at least I used to. It's looking good. I'm like drenched in sweat though. Being in this barn is like being in a sauna right now. So all I had to do after installing the legs, is I had installed the little control unit, like the main menu right here. And then it comes, of course, like I said, with this little 12 volt. So I plugged in the control, like the head unit, to this little solar panel, which is kind of jankily installed. They only gave me 2 screws. So it's being held by these 2 screws. This obviously absorbs the sun's rays. Then it charges this battery so that I can run my main menu, which is right there. And this whole system can work swimmingly. Hell yeah, this is sick, man. I definitely want to get one of these puppies for Maine. It's just nice because when I'm traveling, when I'm away from home, I can't feed them the frozen Shadleys. I can't feed them the live minnows. I need something sustainable that's gonna give them nutrients, a little bit of grub when I'm off flying who the hell knows where. Granted, I don't think the bass are gonna be easy to pellet feed, but the bluegill, I've had them eat dog food, so I don't think this is gonna be hard at all. Next step is to get this puppy on the truck and head on down yonder to the pond. Hell yeah, brother. This thing is sick. Frozen Shadleys acquired. This is what I use to feed my bass when I don't have any live bait. I keep it in my freezer right next to the waffles. It's the good stuff. I wish you could, oh my God, it's so lush. Wish you could smell this bag. It reeks, quite literally. It reeks of stinky shad butthole. You can find these frozen shad just about anywhere. I get mine at local bait and tackle stores where they sell live bait. What I'll do is I'll get some live bait and then I'll get a bunch of these so that when the live bait's gone, I can follow up with these guys. I don't think they love this. The bass definitely prefer live shiners, but this is a great alternative if you can't get that done. This is actually a Texas company, so someone's calling me. Argenta, Illinois. Hello?
Hello, please don't hang up. This is Web Listing Pros.
Oh, I'm hanging up. I'm gonna thaw these puppies out, throw them in the back of the truck. We've got the Shadleys, we've got our fish feeder. We've also got the fish food, which we have to put in the fish feeder, and we should be good to go. I'm pretty excited for this. I'm gonna bring the drone down there too, see if we can get some aerial eats. Hopefully they're hungry. I haven't fed them in a couple days. A treacherous 3-hour drive later, we've made it to the backyard pond. Check it out. It's looking a little low. I hate to say it, but it really is losing water fast. You can tell where the creek used to be. There was water all the way up to that very point right there in May before I left for Maine, and it's probably dropped a good 3 feet, which is sad. But the water is still clean. We still have tons of grass, and there's still fish in the pond. That's what's important. As long as there's fish in the pond, we're doing okay. Hell yeah, take a look at this. The fish feeder is installed. We're making big money moves out here. But yeah, it looks really cool. I drove 4 stakes into the ground, so that way, if we get a big wind, kind of like we are having today, this isn't gonna tip over. Like, this is in the ground. They're probably about like 18-inch stakes, so this puppy in theory should go nowhere. So I went down here where the main menu's at, and I messed around with some of the times on here. You can basically set like, I think 10 feeding times throughout one day. So I set 3. This is a small pond. I don't have that many bluegill in here yet. So I put one at 5 a.m., 12 p.m., and I put another one at 11 p.m. And this is going to shoot food out for about 3 seconds for each feeding period. It may not seem like a lot, but this thing shoots out a lot of pellets within just a matter of a couple seconds. Let me show you. Pretty straightforward and explanatory stuff. This thing is dummy proof. If I can install it, then you can as well. This pond is really starting to come to life. We've installed some hardware, got the aerator, got the fish feeder. Drop a comment, let us know what we should put next in the pond. I think a dock is definitely long overdue, maybe a gazebo. I'm just trying to think of some things to make this more unique. I've wanted to put a dock in the pond and then maybe some like underglow lights. I think that'd be so cool to come out here and watch them swim around in the dark. But that's probably for another day, and it's gonna definitely require some more handiwork, which I just don't have. Anyway, let's move on to the more exciting part. Let's feed these LMBs. They've been staring at me this entire time I've been talking to you guys. Bertha's down there. There's a few other little ones. They're looking at me. They're looking up at the shad man. They're like, is the shad man gonna feed me? He keeps throwing pellets in the water. They're ready. I think we need to give them what they want. You might be able to tell the pond bass are a little fired up today. They're not always like this. Sometimes I come down here and I don't see a single fish. We had a storm that rolled in this morning. I wonder if that got them fired up. I don't know, the past few times I've been down here when I fed them, it's only been a couple, but as you probably noticed from the drone footage and the long lens, they're a little bit itchy right now. So with them being so itchy, I'm gonna take advantage of this opportunity and tie a shad on a hookless line and see if we can get some cool eats of you know, me flipping a dead shad out there. They like to chase. They don't mind eating the dead shad, but they'd rather have something moving, something they can actually hunt. I mean, they came from a wild ecosystem and put into this pond, so they're more prone to hunting opposed to waiting. Although at this point they're pretty much hand-fed ready. Not afraid of me at all too. Look at that one. God, that one's so big. She's just girthy. Ugh. All right, I'm gonna get the rod, see if we can get some more active eats. All right, here's the twig. It's a big old 10-foot crappie rod. We're just gonna skate some dead shadleys across the water and see if we can get some more active eats. Sometimes they wait for the shad to sink, and that doesn't make for cool footage. I want to see them erupt. I want to see them get really nasty. First shad going in. It's a good thing you're already dead, buddy, because this is gonna be quick. Oh, in the water. Let's see if anyone sees it. Oh yeah, we've already got a taker, it looks like. Oh, oh, look at that. He's got it all the way down his mouth. You just spit it. That's so cool, man. Dude, they must inhale it so well because, I mean, there's no point on this hook. He must have just had that down his throat. Deciding to get pet bass is probably one of the more cooler decisions I've ever made. Even if you're not into fishing, you have to appreciate this. This is so sick. All right, checking up on the brisket. Woo! She's wrapped in a little blanket, finishing her off. This has been quite a fun day. Got to feed the fish, installed the feeder, finally, after having it for over a month, finally got it installed. I think the only thing left to do now is to go explore a nearby pond. See if we can possibly catch one more resident for our backyard pond home. I'm thinking it's possible. It's pretty hot out today, but we did have a storm that rolled through, and I think it's got the fish acting a little weird. It definitely had the fish in the pond fired up. So I wonder if maybe in the lakes and ponds around here in northern Texas are also the same. So while we're waiting on the rest of this pork to finish up and cook, let's go hit a pond. Let's go see if we can catch some more residents for the backyard and call it a day. This has been a good day in northern Texas. The only thing that would make it better is if we caught some fish and then brought her back to the homestead. I'll meet you guys there. Here's the plan, Stan. We're heading to the lake right now, and the goal and the mission in mind is to catch one fish, as an addition to the pond. I don't really care what it is. I'd prefer it to be something other than a bass, but where I'm going doesn't have a whole lot of diversity. I do know there's catfish near. There's some pretty big crappie. I think that's kind of what I'm hoping for. I'm anticipating a crappie. I did bring a crappie rod with some jigs, so I'm gonna try that out for a bit, but I'm also gonna shoot for a big bass. There we have it. I'll meet you guys there. We're getting close, 17 miles away. That's not too bad. All right, come on, Bubba. Big jump. Nice. We're here, we made it. See if we can catch ourselves a nice crappie lunge or a big mouth bass. I'm feeling optimistic. There's no one out here. I'm the only boat on this ditch at the moment. Last time I was here, I was doing a bit of bass fishing, and I just so happened to stumble upon some nice brush piles. And guess what was in those brush piles? Yappies. Ready? Howdy, y'all. We made it back to the Rig Ranch, safe and sound. Hopefully our fish are still alive. I put some ice in there on the car ride back. It wasn't too long of a rip. Let's see how they're doing. Ah! They're alive and stinky. We brought back 4 crappie, one of which is that very uncommon magnolia crappie. That's him right there. He's got the black stripe on his head. This is weird, man. Rarely do I have days where just things kind of work out. Like, you know, the fish ate today. We were able to easily install the fish feeder, and we brought crappie back like I hoped to do. I did release a few, 3 to be exact. Didn't want too many crappie in here. I'm a little bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking that the crappie could possibly pose a threat for competition for the largemouth. But one of the reasons why I wanted crappie in the pond, other than the fact that crappie are dope, is that the bass did spawn in the backyard pond this year, and I think there might be too many juvenile bass in there. So I got the crappie to maybe wean out some of the excess juveniles. That's just my theory. I don't know if that's actually gonna work. Just pulling shit. I'm really just pulling stuff out of my ass at this point. All right, the water's warm. 1, 2, there they are. It's a decent one. All right, stop your flapping. Woo! Come on, guys. All right, got him in the water. Come on, buddies, get out of the net. Oh, we have 2 out of the net, and they're all out of the net. Nice. They're probably a little confused. They're like, well, this doesn't look like home. There they go. 1, 2, 3, and the 4th one. That's the magnolias down there. Well, I may have just fed the bass. I literally just put them in, and right in front of where I put them in, there was 4 very hungry looking largemouth. I don't think they're big enough to eat the crappie, but if these guys don't make it, that just means we have an excuse to get back out in the water, catch some more fish, and then dump them in the old backyard pond. Whew. There should be about 5 crappie in here, roughly 12 to 13 bass, and who knows how many bluegill. But yeah, the pond's coming along swimmingly. Drop a comment, let us know what we should stock next. It's got to be legal. As much as I'd love to put an arapaima in here or a giant trevally, I don't think Texas Parks and Wildlife would be too stoked for me to do that, especially if I filmed it. But anyway, I'm peacing out, signing out. Thank you, Wiener, so much for watching today's episode. It would mean the world to me if you liked the video. Drop the comment, give me your input, your thoughts. Tell me something happened in your day. I'll read your comments. I always love reading comments. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much. And as always, folks, keep fishing, never stop.